That's
Good
all you
for
have to do to
her.
be a saint.
Yeah,
Good
It
for
sounds
her.
usually
like took
when
some
you're a
balls
saint,
and
it's like you did something so cool and holy that people were like, "Yeah." like like I don't think God makes well like they say that God makes you a saint. Yeah, Saint Bernadette. Yeah, people love this bitch. She's like considered the young lady, so she's youthful and all that stuff. As opposed to most women saints, they usually become saints when they're older because
and
duh.
God forbid women like age and shit.
Mm.
Yeah, but everyone loved being Saint Bernadette because she's the youngest saint. And oh wait, let me see what she did because I know I did not do that correctly. What is she's the patron saint of blah blah blah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The
Are you
ill, the
supposed to be
poor,
reading this?
the la la la.
Okay, I totally understand her now.
She
That's
mass
it.
texted that shit.
Where does the water come in?
She
I
saw
think
that shit in the
okay.
water.
So
Keep
I
up.
think like she saw Mother Mary
What does
crying
that
or
mean?
something.
She saw her what?
She saw a statue of Mother Mary crying.
Oh.
Is that why Mary is always crying now in statues and shit?
I don't
No, I
think
think that's
so.
because Jesus died.
But
Yeah,
yeah, but he's
that's
dead
usually
though.
because
So
Jesus is dead. But at least Catholic wise, that's usually why Jesus is dead. But I actually really don't know. I just realized all of this could be put up on the internet, and I don't want to piss any real Catholics off, as opposed to some dumb bitch who just happened to go to a Catholic school. So
period.
I don't
Mm.
really know what she did, but I know it involves like her seeing something supernatural with Mary involved. Mary and water. Mary's
Mm.
involved, and Mary like communicated that message with water of some sort.
Mm, sounds
Very
overrated.
informative. I can't
Period.
wait to use this in my life.
I know, right? That's why I forgot, because for real, like they taught us all of those saints, or all the saints that they want us to know. So we knew a lot, but you just like I knew a lot of saints when I was 12 and 10, but as a
Mm.
24-year-old woman, all of that information is
Which is like
gone.
10 years
Ooh,
ago.
I just saw a meme on Twitter that says Skyward Sword is a great game. You guys are just mean.
It's
I
not.
send me that to Twitter. I'm gonna argue with this person. I'm
I'm
just drunk
not.
enough to
No, do
care.
not.
Leave them alone. They're just
No,
Do
I
trying
will
not
to
fight.
argue
enjoy
with
their shit
strangers on
game.
Twitter.
No, I want to. I haven't argued with someone on the internet in a year at
I'm
least.
mad. I'm a retweet it though. I love the chaos.
Be a good
I'm a
person.
retweet it. I didn't think it looked that bad. I feel like it looks chunky and ugly like that because it was originally designed for the Wii in 2011.
Mm.
Um, but I feel like it didn't look that bad. I just don't really know. Like, I haven't played Legend of Zelda, period. So I feel like my
You
first real.
haven't?
Yeah, I
Really?
haven't played a
Yeah, no,
Legend of
she
Zelda
hasn't.
game at all. So
Damn,
Crazy,
dude.
right?
I feel like my first true experience of Legend of Zelda, I would want to be Breath of the Wild. You know,
Mm.
like this is not a game where
Mm,
it
honestly,
stops me from it like was put in front of Breath of the Wild in terms of buying it. Like I feel
okay.
like if I was a Legend of Zelda fan, I'd probably buy it just for like the sheer nostalgia of it all, but I don't know.
So,
Mm.
as someone as probably like the closest thing to a Legend of Zelda expert among us.
I'm still
Honestly,
a big fan of it. I don't play games, but I know a lot about them.
yeah,
Like, I
no,
love
that's
like.
fine. Yeah, no, I didn't mean to like. I'm not questioning your spam status. I'm just saying that like I played like all the mainline games, just not the ones on like the DS or like the hand. I haven't played the
Well,
hand.
I had the DS games, so
Ah, that's cool.
Good
But
for you, Kara. Good for
I
you.
outrank someone now. Hmm. The
uh,
jocks are coming out on top again.
I don't know about that. But anyway, as someone who's played all the mainline games, I would honestly suggest, and by suggest I mean that I'm probably just gonna like tie you down and make you play it. But I
Oh,
would
great
suggest playing
fun.
Ocarina of Time first.
Oh yeah,
I
definitely.
Oh,
gained
that's what.
yeah,
Yeah, I feel like everyone has a fucking nut over that game.
Play it around
because it's
Halloween. It'll
good.
make a great special.
Play it for
Mm-hmm.
what?
Halloween, it'll make a great special.
Oh, for
Ocarina of
real?
Time. Ocarina of
Yeah.
Time's not really scary though.
Eh.
I
A
mean, Majora's
little.
Mask is like
Oh,
scarier than Ocarina of Time, high key.
okay. I was
That shit
thinking of the wrong
traumatized me
one.
when I first accidentally played it.
I was thinking of the wrong one.
Yeah, you're thinking of Majora's Mask. But
Mm.
yeah, Ocarina of Time, I would definitely suggest playing that first,
Mm.
before playing Breath of the Wild, because the thing about Breath of the Wild is that it's completely different from just about every pre-established Legend of Zelda game thus far, because it's an
Mm.
Mhm.
open world game. So
Mhm.
it's
Well, yeah,
completely
that's
different.
I noticed even like a long time ago because a lot of people really like this game. So I was listening to a podcast and they don't even talk about games at all, but they do games. So sometimes in casual passing, they talk about games and they kept saying Breath of the Wild, Breath of the Wild, Breath of the Wild. This was like a few years ago, actually. And
Mm.
Hmm.
I looked it up and I was like, wait, this is Legend of Zelda. So I figured like in that moment, it was kind of like Resident Evil, where it kind of like bounced off and like kind of made a detour almost.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely Breath of the Wild is very hard to explain. So, actually, me and Ashley, Ash the Conqueror 202, who's also on Twitch, check her out as well. We did
Mhm.
an episode on the Blurred View a while back about the Legend of Zelda timeline and where the games fall
Mm.
into each other. And
Oh.
something you got to keep in mind is that another reason why you should probably start with Ocarina of Time first is that that's the game where the timeline really starts to uh diverge. And Breath of the Wild is actually where the timelines kind of converge in an interesting fashion. So essentially, Breath of the Wild takes place so far into the fucking future that nothing matters.
Mhm.
So like basically every game up until Breath of the Wild is so far into the past that it could be a myth, which I think is clever but also slightly only slightly irritating because like I just want a good Legend of Zelda game, so like I've never been overly concerned with the timeline and stuff, but for people who were like into the timeline, they're probably like irritated with this, and I don't blame them
Yeah.
Mm.
because it does feel like a little bit of a cop out. But I think it's also kind of clever too because it's like basically everything that happened in the past games so far are myths essentially.
Okay.
So like
Well,
everything that so like what happened and what hasn't happened is kind of up to everyone's interpretation at this point, which I kind of
Oh, here's an important question. Have you guys heard about hydrated Ganon?
know.
no.
What is
So
that?
it's like everyone's theory. They were making it like a couple years back when Breath of the Wild first came out about like, so you see Ganon in the bottom of the like that biggest tower, and like, I mean, it's obvious that he's still kind of alive, like resurrected by that, I forgot what kind of evil magic, but he's not quite the bad guy that everyone makes him seem to be, and they're thinking that maybe he'll be, I guess, joined on the team in the next game. We're hoping. I hope too. So like there's a comic series that's been out like a couple of years, started a couple of years back, where it's just like Ganon's like hydrated and drawn out this like huge bar of man, and it's just like, do you guys know what bars are before I go on?
So this isn't a weird sex thing, just to
I mean,
clarify.
no, I mean, not really. They don't try to do that in the comic, but it's hinted because he's just like really big and buff and like attractive and junk. So, I mean, everyone got thirsty for sure. I mean, even me too. Like, damn, I wish he'd like be playable.
Dang. This
But I
that
guess,
direct must have been really boring because we're not even talking about it anymore.
Literally. Okay, so yeah, before we get because yeah, since Legend of Zelda was like literally the last thing, let's start with like the in order first.
Well, yeah. So I think the first thing that happened is that they introduced the Pyra and Mithra pair for Smash Bros. For Xenoblade Chronicles.
Too. Yeah.
Um, oh, from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Yes. I love Smash. I've been playing it a lot. I want to get better at it. In fact, I haven't really said anything, but if I do start a Twitch, it would be me trying to get better at my technique of Smash Bros. I really like that game. Um, but yeah, I just, I saw some of their combos. They're cool. I like that it's like fire and lightning. I like that they're girls. They definitely needed a lot more. I feel like they need a lot more girls in the option. That's me personally, because you know I'm a girl.
Mm.
Yeah, their design is interesting. I know literally nothing about Xenoblade Chronicles 1 or
Yeah.
2, but hey,
Yeah,
I
me
mean,
neither.
I would
My
probably play
brothers
this
like it,
character.
but I
So
don't
people,
really play it.
yeah, people kind of thought. Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, people were really excited for who they were gonna announce as like their next Smash player, and a lot of people had a lot of ideas of who it was gonna be, and it was none of them. So a lot of people were kind
Mm.
of pissed about it because it's like they don't play Xenoblade Chronicles, and these characters are nice, but whatever. I just feel like I wanted Zora. I wanted Kingdom Hearts. I wanted a Kingdom Hearts player.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sora would have been cool. I
yeah,
saw a lot of people wanting Crash in there. So,
Yeah, a lot of people wanted Crash too.
mm.
oh yeah. I feel like yeah, I thought it was like announced, but then I think that was just like people like trying to manifest that shit with
Yeah,
money.
no, that's definitely, people were definitely like, I just knew, I don't know, but I'll actually just get to that opinion at the end, because this is kind of how I feel about everything that was announced. There was a lot actually announced. They're putting out work. It's just all stuff that you could tell it was just from the backlog, all stuff from the backlog. Like I
Except
thought
for
that
Splatoon.
the Outer Worlds game was going to be really cool. Did you guys see that one?
Yeah, that was interesting. And
Mm.
at first I thought it was like outer worlds and stuff, and I was just like, what? You mean the game that was came out a few years like oh, it's not even a few years. Like I thought they were talking for a second, I thought they were talking about the game from what are they called? Obsidian.
Mm.
Who made like the first like Fallout games, but then
Yeah.
they were just like, oh, it's Outer Wilds. That's the game that kept
Oh.
popping up every time you try to put in the Outer World. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
no, that it looks interesting now that I actually have a vague idea of what it's about.
Mm.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool too. It at least would be a game that I would play on my own time to see if it's good. A game that I wanted to actually play for the channel that I thought would be pretty cool is that Detective Club duo that's coming out. The Missing Heir and the Girl Who Stands Behind.
Hmm.
Famicom.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Are
that
you
definitely looks
excited?
interesting. Yeah, it definitely
Yeah.
reminds me of I don't even know the name of this game, unfortunately. But like, there's this trophy of Super Smash Brothers Melee, of this girl who accidentally dropped a suitcase, and it's like it was based on a game that was specifically only in Japan, and I was wondering like, oh, is this these games? But I don't think so. But this girl was like trying to solve the murder of her murdered friend. So
Mm.
yeah, that's what that game was about. But like, and I thought that was like, oh, that's interesting, but like
Mm.
I never could play the game because like it was specifically only in Japan, and as far as I know, it hasn't been localized for the US or English
Mm.
in general yet,
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
to my knowledge. I mean, who knows?
So I'm just gonna, okay, they actually put out a lot. Just looking at my notes. So I'm just gonna go through
Yeah,
the
this
ones
direct is
that
fucking long.
I was what?
No, I was saying, yeah, I was surprised. Like, damn, this direct is fucking long. I know it's been a while since
Yeah.
the last time we've had a Nintendo direct, but like
Yeah.
almost an hour. They usually try to keep it to like 30 minutes.
Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
know. And it's I think that's even what's more kind of disappointing, on a whole hour and nothing to really show for it. But I'm gonna talk about the ones that at least caught my interest in terms of I would buy it and I would play it by myself. Um Monster Hunter Rise, that looked good. Um, let's see what else. Neon White, that looked good. The DC Superhero Girls Team Power, that looked cute. I don't know if they're. It's obviously meant for 11-year-olds, but it looked cute. It looked cool. Metopia, I was thinking that that would be kind of cute in terms of like if we all have Switches, we could
Mm.
play cuter D&D games that actually have
Oh, hell yeah.
visuals and stuff like that. So Yeah, because Miitopia kind of just reminded me of like you customize your character in Wii form, and then you go on like medieval quests. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Knockout City I thought was pretty cool. World's End Club was pretty okay. Um, oh, they're gonna have a physical version of Hades. I love Hades. It won Game of the Year, so I'm really happy.
Huh.
But you know, I already have that game in digital download form, so I don't know why I would buy that game in physical copy form. You know what I mean?
Well, if you go on a road trip or some shit, or a plane ride.
True, that's true. But it's a good game. I would definitely recommend it. I was watching the direct and then I watched my favorite gamers react to the direct. Excuse me. And it was very, very interesting to like see how we differ in opinions because Hades won Game of the Year and they gave it no respect. This one person, I should say, but they gave it no respect. And then the other people didn't even know. They didn't even really know the game that well. I love this game. I love it so much. It definitely deserves a lot of attention. I just also don't think I just feel like it's one of those games that you can't really play online or I mean that you can play on a channel, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Bravery Default 2. I figured I would give the demo a try. And Apex is coming onto Switch, which I thought was
I was surprised.
yeah, I was very surprised too. It will be interesting to see how that goes because,
Wi-Fi.
you know,
Internet connections.
and
Yeah.
also just like I don't know. I feel like I couldn't play Apex before because I didn't have a PC, and now I feel like I'm still like I don't have a PC. Like this doesn't really solve the problem that I had. I don't know if I necessarily wanted Apex on the Switch because are people even going to take it seriously? It's just we're getting into games now that have like huge weirdo problems if you get my drift like socially.
Hmm. I don't
You know what
know.
I mean? Like where it's like a lot of people who have been playing Apex all this time are just going to go to the Switch. That is a game that I feel like a station that I feel like a lot of kids have and they're just going to ruin the experience for anyone who's not a veteran to the game.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I can't really say that I know much about the Apex community, honestly. Like I know it's definitely a little different from Fortnite's community, or even like Overwatch's because it's a little different. I know I was trying to play it some when it first came out, but I had difficulties because my PC at the time was not good enough for it. So as much as I actually was enjoying it for the first time, I'm actually enjoying a game like that. I really couldn't play it much longer than that. But
Yeah, that's why I'm like building my own computer at this point because the truth of the matter is that like a laptop is not going to hold that type of power.
yeah, I mean my current laptop could probably play it by now. But yeah, no,
You could try. You could try before you say things like that.
uh, I listen, I have like a 2070, not to brag or anything. I mean, that's a pretty good decent graphics card. I mean, it's not the best, but I hear that the 2070 isn't even that much weaker than the 2080, but I don't know. I don't know much about that, so I'm not going to say that definitively.
I don't
But
know a lot about graphic cards because I have to learn, but I will say just from if I flip to my notes about that, they are already on a Radeon. Wait. Let me. No, this is about processors, graphic cards. Oh, I didn't even write. I just knew that it was going to be important to get the best of the best. I don't know. Graphic
yeah,
cards are. It's like, yeah, you're right. You were right to point out the graphic card because that's going to be where a lot of that shit happens. And
yeah,
I don't know. I just wouldn't trust a laptop to do it. If that was the only thing I was doing on my laptop, meaning I wasn't editing and I wasn't doing other artwork or like other things outside of this whole charade, then yeah, like I would be like, oh yeah, Apex, I can play that on my laptop, no problem. But since I do everything else and I have to have a lot of storage for this stuff anyway, I feel like it's just better to try to find a bigger computer. But it's cool. It's cool. It's cool that it's coming on the Switch. I'll definitely give it a shot. But I just feel like I'm not gonna put my expectations too high on that. The truth of the matter is that I could see, I don't know. I also don't know the Apex community that well, but I feel like I could see a lot of people not taking you seriously if you only play it on the Switch.
Yeah, but also, I mean, how are they gonna know? Like, did they specifically? I don't remember them specifically saying, "Oh yeah, someone who is playing on the Switch is gonna have a big ol' S on their stitched onto the breast of their characters, like we're under
Well,
Scarlet
they
Letter or
might.
some shit."
They might. You might be
Oh,
able to
yeah.
differentiate because they're two different platforms. You might
I don't
be able to.
know.
I don't
But
It's
think
like,
like
I
with
don't think
Fall
Fortnite
Guys, like
has something like that.
they're putting Fall Guys on the Switch too, but it's a different Fall Guys entirely, I think.
Yeah,
So
I don't know.
Hmm.
But like, I don't know. I know Fortnite, you can play it on literally everything up to and including your like toaster and some shit. So like, but I don't think there's a differentiation there, right? You can just play regardless.
that's true. You're right.
I
Yeah.
mean, if someone's
Well,
playing shittily, maybe you jokingly say, "Ha, I bet they're playing on the Switch," but like, you
Mhm.
know, high key, you don't really know.
Yeah.
true. Maybe you might be right. I don't really know. Anywho, up
Dude,
and
I don't know
look at
either.
that. That was like the last thing I really. Oh, and Splatoon.
Hell
Oh
yeah,
Splatoon.
yeah.
Splatoon. I'm so
At first, I
excited.
thought there was
Splatoon.
like some sort of story mode or some shit. I'm just like, what kind of Hunger Games type thing is
They do
this?
have story mode in there, but I mean, it doesn't. It's usually just to get to know the idol characters or try to beat
Mhm.
some big baddie. But I mean, you can still play with a bunch of people.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, uh, what? Oh. So there were a few other things I just wanted to make notes of, even though I didn't really care about it. I might. No, not Rebels Without a Pulse. I don't know. Oh, yes, I do know now. So Mario Golf. I
Ah,
hate golf,
I
man.
forgot that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't
I
believe it. Like,
hate
why did you
golf,
make
man.
a game out of the boring, no, the most boring sport out there? Like,
I
really?
of all the Mario game things we wanted, I'm like, why
Mario
golf?
Golf. And
I
this
would have
isn't
even
even the first
taken like
installment.
I
Just
would have
send them
taken
back.
tennis. I would have
We
taken
have tennis.
basketball.
Send them
I
back
would
to
have
the
taken.
Olympics.
I mean, they
Like,
even made
Yeah.
knockout, and that's like obviously like I don't know. I don't.
did anybody catch the fact that this isn't even the first installment of Mario Golf? Like, they said
No.
this, like, yeah, this is like the second, or I don't know. They said this isn't the first installment. I'm just like, what the fuck do you mean you've had
That's
this
a story
before?
mode. They
Yeah.
gave it a story mode. Why? We don't care.
Right. Like, no, actually, they do owe us an apology. They're going to announce Mario Golf before anything about Breath of the Wild, too. Yeah,
Mm.
no,
So
we.
I feel like that's really why I was watching other people watch it. Because when I watched it on my own and this nigga came out the way he did, just to be like, unfortunately, we don't have shit to say about this game.
Aw.
I was laughing. I was
I
crying laughing. Why,
I
why would they
appreciate
make
his
it that
honesty,
way?
though.
Oh, yeah,
Why would
no.
they
I mean,
make it that way?
Yeah.
the one thing Nintendo you gotta respect is that, yeah, they're not gonna. They typically don't bullshit us. They're just like, hey,
Mm.
look, we ain't got nothing to show y'all.
Yeah, he didn't do a cyberpunk and send it out with a bunch of like shitty
True,
work.
you're right. You're absolutely
Yeah.
right. Which is why I'm not mad at any of those niggas. I'm not mad at them. But it is just so fucking hilarious that they really were just they gave y'all a whole entire weirdo trailer. A weirdo trailer, and then it's him and he's like, yeah, we ain't got shit to say. I'm sorry, but we got that one Wii game. We got that one game that came out
Yeah.
on the Wii.
That a lot of people
Uh,
don't even like high key. Which
Enjoy that shit.
I'm wishing you didn't. So well, I'm wishing you didn't retweet that post because I'm just like reading this and I'm just like, what the fuck are people talking about? Like,
Ah! I was about to
like,
say, Kaya, you do not want to argue on Twitter. You never know. You're not arguing with one person. You're arguing with an army.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm okay with fighting multiple people. You know me, like y'all
I
know. But anyway, I mean, the thing is that I don't even hate. Now that we can finally talk about Legend of Zelda, I don't even
Yes.
hate like Skyward Sword per se. Like, on its own, it's not a terrible game. It's just not a very strong Legend of Zelda game at it's just not a very strong Legend of Zelda game. Like, I'm sorry, like I don't care about the motion controls. Like, I mean, I managed to beat the game, so I don't think like the motion controls was not the sticking point to me. It was the not even the story necessary. Necessarily. It was like the dungeons. Not no, no, not really. Not even the dungeons. It was very repetitive in a lot of places. Like it's hard to explain because well, so you haven't played it, so you don't know much about it. But Kara, I don't know. You've probably seen
Mm-hmm.
people play it.
I played it.
Oh,
Oh,
you
I
played
played
it.
a bit of it. And I mean, my brothers have all the games, so I get to play a little bit of it.
Right. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like there's a lot of repetitiveness in that game that does not it it really it's a huge flaw in the game, probably the biggest flaw there is. Like you there's only 3 areas in like the whole game, which is very different from most other Zelda games where you can have like even back in Ocarina of Time, you could go to like quite a few places in Hyrule. Like there was like a
Mm-hmm.
desert region, you climb a mountain. There was the lake. There was the plains and the forest. Like there's quite a few places you can get to and multiple types of dungeons. But like with Skyward Sword, it's kind of just like, and also the overworld. Okay, so yeah, like there's 3 dungeons, which is typical for a Zelda game. You start off with 3 dungeons before it and then like bam, something big happens and then you got to do like a bunch of other dungeons. However, those dungeons are basically practically in the same area. Like you aren't exploring a different area, not really. Like it's all very much in the same hub world. I mean, you get to do a desert, and the desert is probably like the most interesting area in the game. I mean, the desert, and then like you have this time uh apparatus. I forgot exactly what it was, but like you could turn back the time and then the desert becomes the sea. So the game has like cool moments and like decent
Mm-hmm.
bosses occasionally. And but it's very repetitive and very samey in a lot of places because there's not a lot of places to explore, which is a big part of Legend of Zelda is being able to explore. Like even the traveling by your bird thing isn't is very like there's not a lot of places to explore in the sky at all. Like there's like the main island that's like this weird Hogwarts like school where you're learning how to fly birds and shit.
Yeah.
But like and then there's like a farm like a few paces away like on another floating island and that's kind of it essentially other than like this other place you have to visit. But yeah, I mean, but I was under the impression before I played it that I would be able to travel like fly to a bunch of different like little islands and explore the places there. You know, that's what I was my impression. And maybe I shouldn't have played the game under that impression, but when I found out that the hub world in the sky was like incredibly empty, I was incredibly disappointed. It's like people complained about the ocean and not Breath of the Wild. Fucking
Wind
Wind
Waker.
Waker. Yeah, Wind Waker. They complained about that being empty. I mean, I felt like I explored way more islands and stuff there than I did in Skyward Sword. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you think that was empty? No, Skyward Sword was empty. And
Mm-hmm.
then like it's like I said, it's very repetitive. Like a lot of the you visit the same places multiple times it feels and and then there's one fucking boss. Uh fuck. The bound demise is that no, I think it's called the chained or the bound or something. It's like this one creature that you have to fight 3, 4, 5 fucking times. You have to fight this thing at a minimum 3 times in a row. Not in a row, but you have to fight this damn thing 3 times every time you visit this area. And holy shit, you get sick of this thing fast. It's so annoying. You have to fight this thing like 3 times, and it's not like okay, so like obviously there's games, right, where you fight a boss multiple times, but it's like very different each time or in a different place. And that's fine. Like Resident Evil 7, for example, you fight Jack like 2, 3 times. That's fine. But like the thing is that it's always in a different area. Like he's always like a little, there's always like a different situation where you have to fight him in the first place. Like that is fine. But you kind of fight demise in like the same place, more or less in the same way each time. Only this time there's like he gets a new ability randomly, and it's very annoying. Like you come on now, like you like out of all the bosses in like Legend of Zelda and like all the creative ways you can make like different creatures and boss battles and stuff, like you really gonna make us fight this dude that doesn't even have arms sometimes, like three, 4 times in a row? Like it's very annoying.
Mm.
Not good.
It definitely wasn't a winner out of
Well,
all their games.
well, to be honest, it was probably they probably didn't even want to send out that game. If I'm being honest, they probably did not want that game. Anyway, it's just like more so like they're compensating for the fact that like Breath of the Wild 2, there's really nothing to say. They ain't got a date. They ain't got shit for y'all.
I mean,
Yeah.
in all fairness, I mean, like it was coming. I think most of us knew that, like, okay, so Skyward Sword HD is probably coming at some point. I mean, they ported everything else. They made everything else HD, so Skyward Sword is up next. It's that game's term. It's that game's turn. So like, I'm not surprised about this. I'm just like, yeah, I'm not pre-ordering that shit. Sorry.
Mhm.
I and I can respect like I said, Skyward Sword by itself isn't that bad of a game, and like even with all the stuff I could complain about it, which I could do endlessly, um, it has like good parts. Like it does have some pretty decent boss battles and some pretty decent puzzles, and like they mentioned even in the trailer, like a lot of the features that they had in this game influenced the better game Breath of the Wild that came out what, like 4 or 5 years later or something like that. So yeah, like I do respect Skyward Sword in a sense. Like it definitely has its good moments. Because Legend of Zelda games are usually pretty fucking good. Like there's not, as far as I like, Skyward Sword out of all is not a terrible game. Like even as a Zelda game, it's not terrible. I just think it's like easily one of the weakest titles around. Maybe not the weakest, but it's definitely
One of the
weaker than
weakest. Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely one of the weakest mainline titles. Like it's the one of the weakest games that most people have played as far as Zelda goes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Shia Takahashi was cute. He was cute, giving us a little. It's cute that he still feels like he can host these directs. I mean, they are,
A little
it's cute.
condescending, Rhea.
I'm not trying to be condescending. He
I'm
really was the
joking.
most interesting part of the game. I even have, I mean, interesting part of the direct. I have it right here, even in my notes. I was like, the only interesting part was our host.
Mm. I mean, I
you
like
know?
seeing, yeah, Shia was cool. I liked seeing Eiji Onuma too.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
yeah, he's literally always announcing like Zelda stuff, and I'm just like,
Mhm.
yeah.
cool, dude. I'm glad you're really passionate and you're always wearing a Zelda shirt. Like yeah, you're cool, dude. Like I wish I had
Yeah,
your
they were cuties. I feel like they definitely. It's just like they could have anyone if they wanted to do these announcements. So it's just cute to see that they're the ones doing it.
yeah, and then he did that little bow, and I'm just like, I can't be mad at you for
I
long.
can't stay mad at you.
I can't say mad at you, almost on.
When she had like snapped his fingers, I was like, wow, they trying to be
Period.
swaggy. Trying to keep up with the old kids. But yeah, I mean, yeah, this direct was I give it a C. A C. I give it a C. Here are
Yeah.
my final opinions about it truly. I think that it was good. When I watched it on my own, I was like, this is pretty good. This is not bad. But then I watched other people's and like the fucking sheep I am, I was
Mm,
like, oh yeah, I see why people are pissed. Expectations were just way, 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 way too high. And I don't want to get into this right here because I know in a few weeks we are going to do a podcast all about how the gaming industry will be impacted with the pandemic and everything going on.
Yeah, they even
But
had
I
a little
feel
notice
like
at the beginning.
I don't know if you guys, I also was trying to watch this. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but people are now predicting a second wave of a pandemic as if we are over the first one.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
we would have
They
had to have
could get
gone
one day.
outside without masks at least once if it was going to be a second wave of a pandemic, you know.
Yeah.
Even ocean waves give you 1 second of air before it gives you another one. But yeah, I just feel like the pandemic isn't going anywhere. That's basically what a lot of people are saying. And I agree. I think that the pandemic is not going anywhere. In fact, with like this conflicting information of like everyone saying the pandemic is not going anywhere, but then the government trying to get kids back in school, I feel like the pandemic is not going anywhere anytime soon because we literally just refuse to do the bare minimum of patience. Like America is not a country of patience. Everyone already knew that, you know, but it just used to be a cute little thing about us, and now we're really showing our ass with it. But anywho, I just say all that to say that a lot of the gaming industry, I don't know why people thought that they were going to give out any real games, because the way the gaming industry is probably thinking right now is that once the pandemic is over, they're going to need some real games to draw people back into the house. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because like no one is going to want to really play games once they're able to leave the house. You know what I
Without
mean?
contracting a deadly viral disease.
Yeah, I just feel like even the top-notch gamers are not really going to want to like stay inside their house and play games. So they have to compete with that. So I feel like they're not putting out anything real good until the vaccine actually works.
Yeah. I mean, well, you make it sound like the vaccine doesn't work at all yet. I mean, it probably does. It's just that we need to get way more people than who have currently been vaccinated,
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
which
yeah, 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 yeah,
at least
yeah.
in the US probably won't happen at least until the end of this year if
Right.
we're fortunate enough that the dumbass anti-vaxxers don't convert more people into their dumbassery, which,
Mhm.
here's hoping
Here's to
that
hoping.
yeah,
Yeah.
Well,
I
yeah,
mean,
you're
I
right.
don't
That
hope
vaccine,
ever,
it's not that the vaccine doesn't work, it's just that it hasn't hit a lot of people yet. And it's also just that, you know, it's also just that the virus could come back tenfold. My girl COVID ain't playing with y'all. She said I'm here to stay. She's not trying to go nowhere.
yeah,
So
especially since there's like a British version that
right.
is making its rounds, and I'm just like, oh, fucking British people
Well,
always
I mean, it's
ruining
more
shit.
so there's just more so multiple strands of it going around everywhere. So it's like this vaccine could definitely be working for one strand, but just not another one. And I feel like I don't know, but I feel like that's what they mean when they mean a second wave. They mean another strand that they don't know a lot about is about to hit us. And so we have to do all this shit all over again.
Hey, did you guys hear that Ebola's coming back?
I didn't know.
No.
It is. So that, yeah, hopefully it doesn't travel, but that's in the future.
Yeah,
Well,
I just hope that we won't be stuck indoors literally for the rest of our 20s, because like this is supposed to be the only years of our lives where we're supposed to have fun. So
well, that was also something
Here's
I
to
was going
our
to talk
30s.
about, where there's inevitably going to be a delay of maturity because a lot of people are going to try to reclaim the stupid years that they thought they lost from this pandemic. But anywho, I guess what I'm trying to say is that this direct was trying to go for a balance of mediocrity and like I didn't know how else to say it except for earworms. You know, like how a song is an earworm, and how even if you don't like it, you find yourself singing along to it or trying to listen to it because it just has that one hook, that one part. I
no,
feel
that
like
sounds
that's what they were trying to do in terms of like addiction with these games, where there's one game out of this list of games where if people actually give it a chance, they're gonna like it, you know. And so I think that that's what they're doing. They're just trying to find stuff that maybe they weren't gonna put it out if we weren't in a pandemic right now, but because we are in a pandemic right now, they like were like, let's go into the vault and see all these games if we can perfect them in any way so they're sellable. That's my personal opinion.
I feel like this is kind of a smart move from them. Most of these games are family games, and we all know that kids are home. So I guess this is their financial move. So not just selling to those hardcore adult gamers, but trying to like reach their children audience, which what they try to do mostly. So yeah, good on them.
Good on
Yeah.
them.
I don't know. Yeah, like the game is. I mean, this direct was definitely. I guess if you were expecting something, then yeah, this direct was pretty disappointing because other than like a few things like with Smash and Splatoon and even
I'm so
like
excited for that.
Apex and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, like I honestly I don't know much about Splatoon, but I mean, hey, I know people care about it, so that's great. But
Mhm.
yeah, if you were like me and was expecting something about Breath of the Wild 2 or anything like that or anything else like that, yeah, you'd be like you're probably disappointed. But hey, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not mad or anything. I wouldn't even say this thing sucked so far. I'm just like, oof, man. I don't unfortunately I don't care about most of these games, but I feel like that's a common theme for most Nintendo Directs that aren't coming out specifically around the E3 time.
Mhm.
I mean, a high key, even around like E3, like sometimes I don't really be caring about most of these games. I don't
Mhm.
know, Nintendo is like an interesting company because they are more on the family friendly side, and like a lot of the games they have coming out are unique to them, and
Yeah.
yeah, and they do have like a lot of indie stuff as well, so that's cool too. So
Mhm.
it is nice that Nintendo is always giving like the indie market a chance to put their games
Oh
out.
yeah. That
Yeah.
is actually really cool. Like I remember when they put I think they have or were doing something with Undertale. And I mean it is really cool. Like they're really the only ones actually reaching out to people being like, "Hey, you did this hard work, so like we're going to help you out and maybe we can like make something cool."
Yeah,
What
that's
about
true.
Undertale? I'm sorry.
We were just
So like
saying that
yeah.
it's nice that Nintendo always gives like it like more so than arguably like most other of the major consoles gives indie developers
Mhm.
a chance to put their games on like a high profile platform.
Mhm.
Honestly, yeah, but now that I think about it, there wasn't a whole lot of. I was surprised how there wasn't a whole lot of indie games this time around, but I don't know. But yeah, I mean, again, it's whatever.
Yeah. And you know what I
But
really paid attention to? Like, I
what?
guess it's just like the seamstress in me, but there's a lot of intricate details to like a lot of the costume designs of the characters coming out. So I can anticipate this is going to be a really, whenever people can get out, it's going to be a really full cosplay year.
I was also thinking that. I was like, dang, I don't know
Yeah.
Xenoblade at all, but there are baddies to cosplay as. Baddies.
Yeah.
Even some of the baddies that we don't like, first of all, Pyra and whatever her name is,
Hmm.
they're baddies. They're definitely cosplay material. But then there was
Yeah.
that one girl who was purple and blue with the fire. She had cool
Hmm.
fire as
Yeah, I was looking at her.
pigtails,
Yeah.
baddie. And then there was the other girl who kind of looked like an astronaut, like the tech head, also
Mm.
a baddie. Like they had baddies for days to cosplay as. So you're
Hell
right,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm looking at a lot of good things myself. There's that and it's not like I'm just gonna play the game the cosplay. I'm gonna actually I actually think it's interesting. It's that and I forgot his name. It's the one with the demons where you're in heaven but you're like a demon trying to like do stuff.
Yeah, I saw that one. I forgot the name of it though.
Mm.
Wait, what
But yeah.
was it? It was a demon and you do stuff?
Yeah, you're like they're in heaven and it kind of reminds me of Devil May Cry
Yes.
basically, but you're not, Virgil in the human world. You're just like in heaven doing
Yeah, you're like an
demon shit.
assassin.
Yeah, that looks fucking
Yes.
interesting to me. I want to wear those outfits, those masks they had. That shit's hella
Neon white.
cool. Yeah,
Yes,
like
neon white. They
I am
Ah,
gonna
okay.
fucking make one of those costumes. I'm like just hooked based on how all the characters look.
Yeah, that comes out this winter, and I'm very,
Okay.
very, very excited to play that. If
I
it's
am
good
looking
enough, I might make
forward.
it a video, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm very, very excited. And you're right, they wear like those masks and everything. You know what
Oh
they
yeah,
really
that shit's
remind me
hella
of though?
slick. What?
They remind me of in the BioShock DLC, those
Mm-hmm.
masks that the artist wears, those
Oh
green.
yeah.
Ah, okay.
Another
I know
thing,
what
they
you're
also kind of remind me of Persona. If you guys have played it, the
I
whole
Yeah.
mask
haven't yet.
thing.
Yeah. So
Oh
Cool,
yeah,
cool.
very very cool.
yep, it's really cool. So this was also like kind of very last minute. I didn't know this direct was coming out until like I was like passed out. So I kind of woke up to the news that there was going to be a direct, and then that direct already happened. So I was like, "Oh, okay." But we also wanted to do a little Valentine's Day special, even though it's literally 4 days after Valentine's Day, where we just
Mm-hmm.
talk about who are the cuties of the gaming industry.
Mm.
Wait, that
Yeah.
sounds wrong. That sounds like we're talking about real people. I mean, cutie gamer characters.
Yeah.
Cutie gamer gaming, the characters you game as.
Right. Well, yeah, let's do that. I don't know. Y'all want to start?
Uh,
No.
I can.
What the hell? Okay.
Let's see. Link is the only cute game character, and that's kind of it.
Wow,
There.
that's crazy.
End
You
of
gonna
the
really do my nigga Luigi like that?
Luigi's
Really,
not cute.
you really gonna do my nigga Luigi like that? Luigi is
Luigi's
fine.
cute, but just in a different way from Link.
He's kind of like your weird uncle cute. I wouldn't say
No.
Luigi.
Wow, I wouldn't
Cute.
say weird uncle.
Weird
Yeah,
uncle,
he
right.
is.
I'm not trying to get with any weird uncles. I'm trying to
He a
get with
weird
Luigi.
uncle. No, you're not. No one's getting with Luigi. Luigi free zone. I will be sure of that.
I'm trying to see what
For
Luigi
real.
do. What he do
You
with
want to
them
get with
pipes?
Luigi when you have Bowser. Bowser,
Ooh.
he's the daddy. How could you not want? Also, like Daisy, I always was more of a fan of Daisy than I was of Princess Peach. But yeah, like you can't overlook Daisy and Bowser.
That's
Daisy
true.
and Bowser?
Hmm? Well, not together, but like them separately. But I guess also
Oh.
them together that works too.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Peach
That's
didn't
your opinion.
appreciate him.
I mean, he kidnapped her, so I feel like that's what that was.
He was
Not
giving her a good life, giving her a better life than Mario, the poor ass, can afford.
Yeah, I mean, he's a
She doesn't want
plumber.
money.
No offense to plumbers, but
Yeah.
you know, I mean, he's a king.
He ain't making
Technically.
king money, so.
Period.
Well, what about for love, y'all? What if she
Fuck
wants
love.
a man who just loves her?
He loves
Well,
her.
it's not
He loves
Valentine's
her
Day
so
anymore.
much.
That's true too.
No,
He loves
cheated,
her.
but she
His
loves
son
Mario.
also is calling him mom.
Do we know that for
her
real
mom.
though?
Yeah.
Why else would a princess want to date a plumber? You
She's
tell
not
me.
even dating him.
Yeah.
He's
are they
just
even
around.
You're right. He is just around. We don't really
He's
know.
really just around.
We don't really know. I don't know. It's like, why is she in all of those games if she's just there with her captor and a plumber? Someone has to have good dick on them. Someone.
That Koopa dick. Yeah, I don't know. I think so yeah, like Kara said, Link is definitely a cutie. At the risk of sounding a little furry adjacent, Twilight Princess Link especially is great.
Oh yeah, no, that's true. He is the best Link, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like all around, he is the best Link.
Yeah, I love Twilight Princess Link. I actually just started replaying the game last week, and I'm just like, oh, I fucking love this game. Oh,
cool.
Midna, she's also a cutie.
Oh
Love
yeah,
her.
definitely.
She is thick. That's a thick
Like
ass.
those big ass hips they gave her, and in her human version, I'm just like,
Oh man,
I'm dead. I'm
human-ish
fucking
Midna
dead.
too. Man, that's a hottie too. Like Midna in general.
Trying to
Best
slide in there,
companion.
send me to the dark zone.
Hey, Midna can take me to any kind of dark zone, high key.
Oh hell yeah!
Gross.
Hey,
Y'all are disgusting.
Oh, shut
You're
up.
talking
Don't
about
you-
me.
you
Don't you
even
have
know.
any respect for Jesus himself?
No, I don't.
Let Let me look. You gotta see a picture. Oh, there's actually this really great artwork of Midna. And like it's like really like this Renaissance looking type shit. Hang on, let me see if
that
I can
sounds
find
really
it.
cool. I actually really wanted to cosplay Midna at some point, but I never did it. It was like I think it's supposed to be like for a convention before the pandemic happened, and then it happened, and it's like, well, there goes my ideas.
Yeah.
That will
Okay.
also
Well.
be interesting to talk about conventions because conventions are trying to open up this year too.
Yeah,
Are they?
Otacon's really trying to open up, which is a bad idea.
I think
That's
They
it's
a
got
such
all
an
good
that
awful
money
idea.
already, but
I
it's a
was at
bad idea.
Joann's looking up for cosplay, and by a stroke of luck, we also got another girl who does costume characters.
This is
Was she
the
And we
working
were-
there?
picture I was
Yeah,
looking
she
for.
was working there and helping
Oh,
us.
I know
and-
her. She's really cool. She helped me with like Homestuck shit. That
Oh
was back.
shit! Here's the painting.
But yeah, she's really cool. Or
And
at least I
so-
hope it was. Well, I'm not gonna out where we live, but I'm assuming it's the same one I've gone to. Never mind.
Okay,
Yeah,
here's the. Hey, Kara, this is the picture I was telling you about that looks like Renaissance type shit in the group chat.
Whoa, who's putting stuff up?
Me.
Oh,
It's I.
Who?
so
The
good. If only
news.
I could sew like that.
What?
It almost looks real, to be honest. Like this is a real person.
Yeah, I know, right? Like
This
that's
is
like some
really good.
insane. Like
God, they
that's
got the
insane art
skin
right there.
pores and everything.
Yeah, that's really good. But yeah, no, Midna is a baddie. Love her. Love everything about her. Favorite. Best Zelda companion. I love Link
Absolute
too.
babe.
Twilight Princess, Link especially. Who else? Honestly, like Twilight Princess Ganondorf, he's a little cute. He's a little hot, honestly. Like, yeah. I mean, if you have to like fuck a bad guy, I mean, at least he's like human adjacent and not a turtle. So like
Or some
Ganondorf,
weird pig creature.
yeah. I mean, well, he's not always that though. Like as
Only
long
for
as he
the
stays
first ones.
human.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's why I'm specifically talking about Ganondorf. Also, like I don't know, I don't want to call him Ganon. That's so weird. Like I don't like. No offense to the Ganons out there, but like Ganon is such a normal name that I'm just like, nah, you're Ganondorf. Like if I was named Ganon and I was like a bad guy, I'd be like, nah, I'm adding a dwarf to that shit too because like how am I gonna be evil with a name like Ganon?
Dwarf makes it so. I don't like the
Medieval.
dwarf.
Really,
It just,
I like Ganondorf.
It makes him seem dumpy if he adds the dwarf on there.
It makes him sound medieval, I think, which I think is it fits him. And Ganon is not a very evil name at all. But like, I mean, that's probably why they kept changing. They keep changing it like every other game.
How
Like,
you
I
know
don't
what he
even
looked
know.
like though?
So I'm gonna show you guys the hydrated Ganons.
I said, how you know what he looked like under his suit though?
I mean, it's easy. I just know. I mean, you don't need to know how I know, but I know.
Damn, you already fucking that nigga. I see.
That's another thing. He's like the only one of the only men of color in this game.
They done him so dirty
Damn.
by making him the ultimate evil.
Yeah, but we're gonna ignore that.
Mm.
Oh, okay, to stray away from Nintendo, honestly, I kind of like Nathan Drake. He's not bad.
I don't know if I'd ever date a real Nathan Drake in real life.
I mean, not a real one, but like, like fictional like Nathan Drake in general, like is pretty fun. Like fictional wise, like if you had to date a fictional white man, I think he's pretty decent. Oh yeah, Chloe and Nadine, they're cool too. They're cuties.
Chloe and Nadine are cuties. Oh my
Right.
god.
I hope if they do make another Uncharted game one day that it's them. Like, sorry, I really don't give a fuck about Nate's daughter. The fact even though I was literally just talking about fucking him. But anyways, like yeah, but like Chloe and Nadine should definitely get like another game together, a full game. Not that like I mean, Lost Legacy wasn't like I mean, it was like a full game, honestly, but it was definitely shorter than like the usual Uncharted games. But honestly, I actually like short games in a way. Okay, so it's Ganondorf but thick.
Oh
Gotcha.
yeah, he is so thick. Like I love him. I love that design. I know they're not gonna use it, but I mean, I can just dream. I can dream.
Yeah. Yeah, we shall see. Yeah.
Mm.
But
Oh,
yeah.
have you guys ever played any of the Bayonetta games?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
okay, she's
haven't, but I do
definitely
know what
a
she looks
definite
like.
baddie.
Yeah,
Who?
definitely. Bayonetta.
Bayonetta.
Oh, duh.
Mhm.
Mm. Woo.
Oh, Zoe from Resident Evil 7. Love that accent.
Oh God. Oh man. Poor Zoe. She deserved a better fate. She deserved
Yeah.
a better
I mean,
fate.
well, if you, I don't know if you played the DLC. I mean, she definitely gets better. Like, she definitely has a better fate towards the end. You just gotta play the DLC.
Oh, for
Mhm.
real? Okay, good.
Yeah,
Because
you
I
haven't
thought
played the
they really
DLC?
were. I thought when she was like, "Just go," I thought that was
Oh yeah,
mean.
no,
Mm.
she's fine at the end of it. Thankfully, you just have to play the fucking DLC.
Oh, cool. Well, yeah. Then it's better to just pick Mia then, because if you pick her, then she just dies.
Right. Yeah,
Dang.
which is still kind of dumb to me, but like whatever. I mean, I don't even. They really didn't even have to like make it a choice. I don't know.
Yeah,
Not
I don't know
to
why they.
not to like get too far into it, but like the choice seems like a little unnecessary. Like, did you feel obligated to have a choice there? Because I don't. It really didn't feel necessary, but whatever.
Yeah, I
Mm.
was also gonna say something about that, about how like that was during a time where everybody wanted like these choice based games, which is like,
But it's
I
like,
mean, it's great if you can do that, but if you want to
if you
tell a specific story, why would you?
right, like you never have like a choice at any other point in the game. So it's like,
Right.
I mean, if you're like, cool, there's one whole choice that like only slightly affects the ending. Honestly, to be perfectly honest,
Mm.
Very
but yeah, it's
um
like I don't know. I don't know. I mean, yeah, it just felt like they had to have an obligatory choice, choosing between the wife that got you into this mess and some southern accented chick with short hair. I like her.
Yeah.
Zoe has such a good accent. I love good voices. She has such
Mhm.
a good voice.
do you want to know who's really my Valentine this year? The
Who?
tall man. The tall
Ah!
titty man.
Okay.
From
Yeah.
Little Nightmares 2, aka spoiler alert, who Mono grows up to be. We now know
Mm.
that.
Yeah, but I played
Um,
as Mono, so it'll be weird, you know. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I know you as a kid first, so it's gonna be weird.
Mm.
dang, you just made it weird. That's for sure.
Well,
Because I was really gonna go into some crazy ass jokes, but
uh,
not anymore.
Thank you, Kaya. You
Not any
saved us
the
both.
fuck more.
no
You
You
problem.
definitely
saved us
made it
both,
weird.
Kaya.
I
I
live to
appreciate that.
I live to stuff
I
like this.
live to ruin. I live to ruin. But
Okay, how
yeah,
about these
definitely.
Street Fighter girls? Like
Ooh, that
specifically
yes.
Chung Li, Cammy, Minette, Lucia, all fucking hot.
All fucking hot. All
Yeah,
Mm.
they got them strong ass legs on them.
Hell yeah, the Darkstalker girls too, like Felicia. I forgot who that demon chick is, and that other demon chick. All good.
You know who I really want to talk about? I don't know if I told you guys this, but I'm gonna play the Scott Pilgrim game.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
so
it's pretty cool.
who of Scott like um what question was I gonna ask?
Who will
Who of
we fuck?
Scott's exes? Who of Ramona's exes is most likely the one that you would have dated of
The
all the seven
lesbian.
exes?
I don't know
What's her
because I don't
name?
remember honestly.
Wait, I'm gonna look up a name
Yeah, go for it.
if I can
Oh,
spell.
it's the girl she dated, right?
Oh yeah, the
Yeah,
one.
she's
I
a
see.
real one.
I think her
Was
name's
it
Roxy.
Roxy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I date Roxy,
Cool,
and
cool.
that's it. Everyone else is kind of like gross.
I feel like in reality I would have dated Ramona's first boyfriend who's Indian and liked musicals.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah,
Oh, that
he's
sounds
a
cute.
tender soul who beat people up.
Yeah, I feel like that's really who of all of them who I would date. But
Mm.
I think of Scott's exes, Kim's the best one. I don't even like Ramona.
Yeah. There's Kim, but there's also what's her fucking name? Envy.
Oh
Like
yeah,
have you finished reading the
Envy.
comics?
No, not yet. I still got to do the last book.
I guess I just say I would date her and she would be an excellent girlfriend.
Ayy.
Yeah.
Oh, you know who
I
else
don't
was a
know. Like I said, I read a lot of, or not a lot. I read the comics. I think I read 1 through 5. I think that's where I
Mm.
stopped when I was in high school. So they give all of these very, 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 sometimes very obvious, but sometimes very subtle hints that Scott is awful and he's
I
not
mean, if
telling
you
you
got
the
through
entire truth.
5, you should already know.
Hmm.
Yeah, I
Correct.
mean, like
I
at
mean,
the end of the 5th one, that's when everything's pretty much. That's like when he's at his lowest.
we tried watching
Mm.
the movie once, and it
Mm.
literally opened up with him being like, "Oh yeah, I'm like a 20-something and dating like a high schooler. What about it?"
Yeah,
Yeah, that
that's
should
true.
say it
That hit
all.
me.
Right.
That
That
should
hit
say
me
it
a little
all.
different as a 24-year-old when I rewatched it on Netflix, and he said he was
Hmm
22. He's 22, and
20
I
he's
think
something.
he's 24.
Is he 24?
He's
I don't
either
know.
23 or 24.
I don't know. He was definitely 20 something,
Way
and
too
that
old
was
for
like my
this.
first time like
Like
watching that, and I'm just like, "What the fuck do you mean you're dating a 17-year-old?"
he is literally a fucking a real man, a 24-year-old man, or I guess 23 when it starts, but
oh
way
yeah,
too
you're
fucking
right.
old.
So
I
he's
was
22 in the film because they also had to make Knives 18,
Mm.
I think, or maybe Knives
No,
is
she was
already
still
18.
17. She was still 17 in the beginning of the film.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they said something about like, oh, it's different in Canada, which I don't know how true that is. I don't know. I don't know like exactly how it works, but I'm just like, yeah, what the fuck?
Well, anywho, you're right. He's 23 and then he turns 24.
Mm.
He's
Okay.
23 in like the first few comics, and then he turns 24 by volume 5 and 6. So
Still too
yeah,
grown.
Yeah.
still,
I was
yeah. I don't know why we're debating it. It's still
Mhm.
like
Oh,
he graduated
it's
college a
not
very long
good.
time ago, and now is going to high school to pick up his girlfriend. Fucking
Mm.
weirdo.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I
Yeah.
will say it did definitely hit me different because as a high schooler reading it, it was like, oh, Knives is so sick. Knives is so cool. And now that I'm like older, it's like, wow, poor Knives, man. She is being preyed on.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And
And
I
it's like,
blame this all to anime in my defense because like you see this shit and you like grow up thinking it's normal and then you're like an adult
mhm,
woman and you're like these men are fucking
not
creeps. Like
normal.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
men
And
are
I
real
remember,
creeps.
like, because, we all liked anime when we were high school girls, So I
Yeah.
remember
Mhm.
feeling a certain type, never feeding into it, but always
Mm.
feeling a certain type of way because, like, you knew that being a high school girl was, like, the thing.
Mm.
And, like, to think about that now is really fucking creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it kind of
exactly.
sucks. Like even now, I'm just like, damn, was I really supposed to be like at my most attractive when I was like 16? Because like,
Don't no, don't even try
Yeah,
to
it's really weird.
yeah,
Yeah.
don't lean into the mindset of that. It
like yeah,
really
no, I
You
messes
know
don't.
what I've
you up.
I
been
definitely
thinking?
try not to, but I'm just
You know what
like,
I've
Yeah.
been thinking recently though is that a lot of a lot of women who are in their 30s and 50s look bomb. They still look like they're in their
Oh hell
20s.
yeah. Like
So I've been thinking that that's
older
actually a
women are
really
the
good move
best.
to just like work out and eat right so you're still looking like you did at your 20s in your
Mm.
50s as opposed to trying to look like you're still in your teens while you're in your 20s and early 30s, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I definitely see what you mean too, Kaya. Like I look back on pictures of myself in high school and it's like, wow, I was literally just eating Doritos. I was coming home from school, going into the freezer and eating ice cream, and I still looked 10 times better than now when I'm on a diet and trying to run 3 times a week and all this other stuff. My stomach was
Mm.
flat. It wasn't going nowhere for another few
yeah.
years. So sometimes
Well,
I
not
also
for
get
me. I
caught
was.
in that trap of like, damn, if I just had my high school body, but that's weird.
Mm.
I don't know. I can't even say that because I've always been fat, and I'm just like, damn. I wish I was at least skinny at some point because then it's like, okay, cool. Then at least I know that like I wouldn't be stuck like this forever. But I just like always like worry, like, oh shit, is it real? Can people really just like be born fat and stay that way forever? because I'm just like, I don't want to be fat forever. I'd rather, Kermit sewer slide than do that. So it's just like, But I
Mm.
don't know. I mean, sometimes I really do wish that like I was like skinny at some point and then got fat because at least I know that I could be skinny again at some point. But
Well,
like since I've just about always have been fat, I'm just like, oh no, I hope it's not really a genetic thing that you literally can't get out of without like dangerous ass surgeries or something. Yeah.
well, you shouldn't think about it that way. You should think about it as like you're being healthy and you're doing the healthy stuff that allows you to lose weight.
Sure. Yeah, I don't care about actually being healthy. No offense. Like we should probably just cut that part out.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I will.
Yeah.
We will have to probably cut that out. We don't want to encourage anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
To
don't want to
like,
encourage anyone, but Heike, I don't care about being healthy. I just want to be skinny because let's be honest, nobody actually cares about being healthy. They just want to look quote unquote healthy, which to our popular consciousness is being skinny in the first place. So yeah.
yeah, and that's real. That's definitely real.
Mm.
I don't want to take that away from you.
Yeah, like I
For
haven't
real.
even eaten lunch like all this week because like I'm just like, oh, I've been eating too much food, so I just like been only eating like one meal a day for like all week. Ah,
I'm telling you,
damn
dude,
it.
you might like those gummies that I was showing you. You might like them. Information will be down in the description box below, but thank you guys for joining us. It's really nice. I feel like we are like having a small following of people who really listen to our stuff, and that's really exciting.
Yeah, it really is. You guys are awesome.
You're
Yeah.
awesome too. Aw, I see
Yeah.
the gift now, sprinkling throughout the video, memorizing our viewers, and
Mm.
I hope it doesn't. It should be just a repeated thing, so it's not going to take that long to export. Wait, let me just talk about it later. Bye, y'all. Bye.
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 Bye.